Today I'm going to ask a lot of you. Because I want you to stop fixating on your weight.
You're listening to the Wellness Simplified podcast. Simple wellness tips to help you improve your life without turning it upside down. With your host, award-winning fitness instructor, nutrition coach, and wellness expert, Susie Fevens.
Welcome back to the podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're not already subscribed in iTunes or Overcast or whatever you like to listen to podcasts on, I would so much appreciate it. And if you want to hang out with me more than just once a week, you can find me over at WellU. That's welluniversity.ca. That's where I house all of my virtual classes, or that's the hub rather. Zoom plays a big part too. And of course, you can find me on Instagram at susie.fevens. But let's get into today's episode because this is coming from a conversation I've had a couple of times this week with different people in different groups. Because inevitably, you know what? It's late spring. People have summer on the mind. People are shopping for spring and summer clothes, bathing suits, all of that stuff. And maybe the clothes you already have aren't fitting you the way that you would like, and you're struggling to find some new clothes, whether they're bigger or smaller or just different. And where do we find ourselves but thinking about our weight? And specifically, one conversation I'm thinking of, somebody mentioned that they now weigh more than they did when they were pregnant. And I said in return, I haven't had any children, but I did have a 10-pound ovarian tumor that had to be hacked out of my abdomen. So I feel like I can still speak on this because a tumor is obviously not a child, but it was a mass in my body that caused all sorts of problems. And I currently weigh about 75 pounds heavier than I weighed 6 years ago. So I understand. And let's remember, my job is to literally be in spandex in front of groups of people, helping them exercise and be healthy. And if we believe that weight is the pinnacle of health, that being this thin, slim, trim body is the pinnacle of health, then I am doing a disservice to everybody. But it's not. Society as a whole still seems to think that your weight and your size is the picture of how healthy you are. But deep inside, we know this isn't true. We know that it's not true. There are lots of very, very thin people who are very, very sick. And there are lots of people who are what society would consider overweight or obese that are actually really healthy. And this is where I want to go with this. I want you to stop fixating on your weight because nowhere in the playbook of being a human was it stated that you are supposed to stay at the same shape and size that you were at 19 for the rest of your life. If that's in there, I missed that fine print somewhere. If that was in there, I missed it. You know what? And in the handbook of being a human, nowhere does it say that we're all supposed to be the exact same size. We're all different heights. So why should we all be the same physical embodiment of this slimness? There are different body types out there. Some people are always going to hold extra weight compared to someone who's very, very slim who doesn't hold on to any extra weight at all. And then there's going to be a whole span of people that go in either direction and in the middle. Humans are meant to be different heights, shapes, sizes, and weights. Humans are not meant to be the same size throughout their entire life. We need to stop fixating on weight as our indicator of health and wellness. Think of it in a different way. Think of all of the things you've gone through in your life since the age of 19, or maybe even 15, maybe even a little bit younger, depending on when you hit puberty. Think of all the things you've gone through. Well, I can tell you one thing that we've all collectively gone through, and that is a pandemic that is now over 2 years in length. But between pregnancies, illnesses, stress at home, at work, injuries, all sorts of things. Everybody goes through a lot of stuff. And at the end of it, when you're here, you're listening to this right now, so you're here. And the thing you're fixating on is your weight. And that is the thing that your body held onto to help you survive all of those other things. Like, how ungrateful can we be? How ungrateful that while our body was literally trying to keep us alive in every way it could figure out how to do so, we get through it, we are still alive, and now we're just like, I can't even believe that I look the way that I look right now. Look how much weight I've gained or lost, depending on the person, the situation. But you're alive. Your body kept you alive. It helped to keep you alive. Yes, there was probably outside factors, medications, treatments, whatever. Your body kept you alive. Sure, it put on some weight. It was trying to keep you alive. Let go of it. Let go of that burden that you should weigh how much you weighed before you had children. Let go of that burden that you should look the way you looked when you were 25. You're a different person now. You're not the same person you were then, mentally, emotionally, or physically. That doesn't mean that wherever you are this moment, maybe you're not overly comfortable in your body. That doesn't mean that your body's going to stay this way either. It doesn't mean that you're going to stay this way either. But maybe you've just gone through a phase of gaining because that's what your body needed to do. And maybe right now it needs to just stay where it is for a little while until it's sure that everything's okay. And then if it decides, maybe it doesn't need to hold on to so much weight, some of it will come back off. Or maybe the reverse. Maybe you lost weight from an illness and you're upset and you wish that you could get back your muscle, get back that extra weight. Maybe your body just needs a minute to breathe. And then you can start to rebuild. This is not to say that you shouldn't eat healthy foods, not to say that you shouldn't worry about managing your stress, exercising, all of that stuff, sleep, water, all of that stuff. Obviously that is important. You don't need me to tell you that that's important. We know that that's important. What's not important is fixating on that weight on the scale or the size in your pants. Buy some pants that fit. Get some clothes that are comfortable. Summer's coming up. Go get yourself some swing dresses. They hide a multitude of sins, which in fact are not sins at all. You are alive. Your body kept you alive. Let go of the hatred, the guilt, everything surrounding that number on the scale or inside your clothing, whatever the number is that is sending you into a tailspin. Just live your life. And you know what? When you stop stressing over it, you'll learn how to love your body as it is right now because it kept you alive. But when you take that stress away, you might be surprised at how quickly either your perception of your body changes or your actual body changes. Sometimes it's both, sometimes it's one or the other. But it's going to change whether the actual size of your body changes or not. When you stop looking at your body as a problem that needs to be solved and as the solution to the problem you already had, it kept you alive. You're going to feel differently about yourself. Let go of the weight. Literally let go of your weight. Do not step on the scale if it is triggering for you. When I was a nutrition coach, I got weighed every single day because I was a client and I was part of the structure. I was not impacted by that weight. That weight did not dictate my day. It was just a metric of how I helped to coach people. I've completely changed since I left that company. I have completely changed how I feel about that. I rarely get weighed. But because I was having so many weighty conversations this week, I decided, you know what, I'm going to get on the scale. So I got on the scale yesterday just to see what the situation was. Because I haven't been on the scale since, I don't know, this is the end of April. I feel like it was sometime in January. I'm not sure. I might have put it in my Fitbit because I do like to, again, I still like statistics. I like statistics. And my weight's pretty much the same. I have done whatever I wanted, ate whatever I felt like eating, Sure, I exercise. I've been trying to sleep. I've been trying to take care of myself. Have I eaten extra junk in the last few months that I wouldn't normally eat? Absolutely. But it's part of my coping mechanism, strategy for getting through the winter, for getting through this pandemic that's continuing on, for getting through another really struggling time in the fitness industry when it's winter and everything keeps shutting down again because of storms, etc., etc. You know what? You do what you need to do, and my weight hasn't changed. It hasn't changed. Your body's going to do what it needs to do. Again, yes, obviously eat good food that's going to nourish your body. If you're going to live on a diet of Doritos, that's not going to help you out. But if you want to have some Doritos, just eat some Doritos. Move your body, sleep, water, stress management, all that, sure. But don't fixate on the weight. Gosh. Take that figurative weight off of your shoulders and just go live your life. Your body has helped keep you alive this long. It's wonderful. It's amazing. It's fantastic. You are wonderful, amazing, and fantastic. Your weight is so uninteresting to me. And I hope that you can figure out a way to make it uninteresting to you too. Thank you so much for tuning in. Really, you are wonderful. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And I hope that you'll tune again next week. Until then, bye.